Welcome to this edition of Entrepreneur Showcase. I'm Edward St. Pé, and we have a special guest, a performer with us today. Every now and then a performer will come on the program, and we're happy to have Gabbie Bowden with us today.
Hello.
Gabbie, good to see you.
Good to see you.
And so you are a performer.
I am a performer.
And so what is a performer?
What is a performer? I guess a performer is someone who entertains. It's almost like you have to become both a little bit more of yourself and less of yourself at the same time to be a performer. Have to lose self-consciousness and, you know, kind of become what other people want you to be in a weird way. That's my, I guess, philosophical answer.
Is it sort of, in a way, it's sort of like being an actor?
A little bit. A little bit like being an actor, but you're not embodying a character so much as
maybe channeling
a different version of yourself, right?
Right.
Yeah. Interesting.
So, yeah. So now, did you always want to be a performer?
To be honest, I was always, when I was very little, I was involved in violin, but it was mostly orchestras and choirs and things like that. I didn't really get into solo things until, I guess, later high school and then college. I was in some a cappella groups and had solos through that, and I just absolutely loved it. So that's how I kind of went the solo performer way.
So what is it that I'm curious because being in the business of television, right? So we do shows and we do all these projects and stuff. And so it's interesting to get your perspective on what is it that the performer yourself, what do you get out of performing? What is it do for you?
Well, I love knowing that I have entertained someone. I play at Phoenicia's in Ocean Springs every 6:30 to 9, and I mostly sing standards, jazz standards, and other romantic kind of songs or croony songs. And there are moments, you know, when a couple has an anniversary or something and a song that they really loved when they were first dating or at their wedding comes on, and they love it and they sing along. And just knowing that you have an effect on people to, you know, you can make their night. I love that. Yeah.
So when you perform, you perform on the weekends, Friday and Saturday night?
I do. Friday and Saturday.
At Phoenicia's?
At Phoenicia's Gourmets.
In Ocean
Gourmet,
Springs.
yes.
So that's a perfect location because the clientele would appreciate jazz standards.
Exactly. It's perfect.
So you found the exact right place to be.
I found my niche at the moment. Yeah.
So tell me, when you perform, do you have accompaniment?
I typically find backing tracks online and I sing along to those. But ideally, I would love to be in a band. I just haven't found my people yet, I guess.
And also, I know you play violin.
I do.
So is that something that you also do at the performance?
I do. Sometimes I break out the violin too, and maybe during long interludes, musical interludes, I'll play along with those.
Interesting. So so that's a perfect thing. Now, when we started the shoot today, first off, we did some taping of your performance. So we've got one song coming up. Can you tell us before we go to the song? Give us a lead in.
The first song is "When I Fall in Love." I sing it in the style of Renee Olstead, who is one of my favorite jazz vocalists, and it's a really classic standard. I love that song.
Okay, well, let's take a look at your early performance.
When I fall in love, it will be forever, or I'll never fall in love. In a restless world like this one is, love seems to stop before it's begun, and too many moonlight kisses seem to cool in the warmth of the sun. Oh, when I give my heart, it will be completely, or I'll never give my heart. And the moment that I feel that you feel the same way too, well, that's the moment I'll fall in love with you.
Well, that was a great performance.
Well,
that was
thank
very
you.
Nice to see an a cappella too.
Yeah, that was, I don't typically sing a cappella just me unless, it's just me at home. So that was fun.
Well, it came in handy because you did great. So, all right, here's a question. A song like that, the interpretation of that song, I mean, these are songs that were created way back in the heyday of,
Right.
of songwriting, but you can relate to these things, right?
That's true. I think music is kind of one of those eternal things. If you listen to Bach or Frank Sinatra or something written yesterday, they can all elicit similar emotions.
It is the truth.
Yeah.
It is the truth. Yeah, it's like everlasting and eternal. In that whole era. I mean, we were talking about it a minute ago before we came back. That particular genre, the pop vocals, jazz vocals, it's like there's nothing new out there. It's sort of like, if you think about it, there's not a whole crop of young artists coming on with that. It's very visible out there.
Right. There are a few, but it's not. I would say not widely marketed per se.
At this
yeah,
point.
At this point, right.
At this point,
I've heard there's a resurgence, but I don't really know of, and I can't point to a maybe particular group right now. So.
Yeah, well, it's not like on the forefront of anything that I'm aware of. Everything is everything but that, But it's so great that sooner or later it's going to pop back out of the box. Maybe,
yes.
Maybe you can help
faith.
bring it back.
Oh, I would love to do that.
Wouldn't that'd be a great thing to do?
Yeah.
Okay, so now when you're not performing and you're not singing, tell us about what it is that you do.
Well, I have not graduated due to COVID, but I've finished a degree in Irish literature at Trinity College, Dublin. I love reading and writing, and I hope to get a PhD in literature. That's my goal, and become a professor.
Professor.
Yes.
So you were there in Dublin.
I was.
How long?
I was in Dublin for a little over a year, aside from some months over the summer of 2020 that I was at home.
And
over
so
COVID.
What was your impression of Ireland?
I loved it. That was actually my third time studying there.
So what's it like? Tell us about it.
I would say, actually, I wrote my dissertation on the similarities between Irish literature and Southern American literature.
Really?
I think that Irish culture and Southern American culture actually have a lot of similarities. Very kind of friendliness, kind of a wittiness almost in conversation. Yeah. So culturally, I didn't find it incredibly different. I think the humor is maybe a little edgier maybe than our humor, a little bit smarter. But the weather, it was always kind of chilly. It was never hot like here, which was nice. So
that is great. What a great experience.
I loved it.
And so the literature, what is the classic piece of literature from Ireland?
I would say what comes to most people's minds would be James Joyce Ulysses, which is quite the bear. Even after all that studying, I didn't quite understand it myself. But there's also Samuel Beckett, who is largely a playwright, Oscar Wilde, and then some women like Elizabeth Bowen. I loved the literature over there. It's all very emotional, I found, and I would say experiential, experimental, sorry, experimental.
And there's a lot of, I guess, it's like a land of living mythology in a way. You know, it seems like it from my perspective, just as an American, I look back. I mean, I guess
Right.
because it embodies the old world. You know, it embodies
Yes.
where a lot of Americans came from.
Right.
Their ancestors, right?
It's interesting, first of all, that they can say we've been here for centuries. You know, you can go to Newgrange, which has been there for millennia, and see kind of the Stonehenge of Ireland.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's fascinating.
See, that's one big difference between Ireland, for example, and the U.S.
Right.
We don't have that. We don't have that long history, you know, that predates.
Right.
Except, I guess, you know, the Native Americans.
Exactly.
So we take that into consideration, but of course, you know.
And we've unfortunately destroyed a lot of their monuments and things of that nature. So it's tragedy.
You know, I mean, just eradicated from the planet, you know.
Exactly.
Except the remnants, you know, that culture. But you know, there's a lot of, you know, from a mythological standpoint, there's a lot of connections between, like, if you look back at Celtic history, ancient history, and you look back at lots of different tribes, whether they be in Europe or even in this country, Native Americans, Central America, Mexico, there's connections, you know?
Yes.
It's similarities.
It's fascinating.
It's like something like Joseph Campbell talked about with some of his books, you know? The collective unconscious, or the archetypes, right? The
Right.
archetypes that play out through all cultures. It's the same. It's the hero with 1,000 faces, right?
And how at so many points over time, the same thing was happening in different parts of the world, but they didn't know. It's
They
fascinating.
didn't know. You know, one of the interesting things, the Conan the Barbarian, that series, that particular fellow who wrote that, I think his last name is Smith. Anyway, he wrote them a long time ago. But Conan, the interesting thing I thought about that writer and Conan, which you wouldn't really connect this, but he was friends with other writers, and what Conan was really about, or that whole thread of the idea was that this was a civilization that rose up on the ashes of a prior civilization. Like,
Right.
let's say Atlantis fell, okay?
Right.
And these were the survivors. Or, you know, you could put it into modern times. Let's say the present civilization somehow implodes, then with very little memory of, but it starts again from the
bottom.
beginning. You know, or maybe you might have, I guess, some remnants, right? Some
Right.
remnants that kind of continue on, but.
Interesting to think about.
Yeah, but that's what Conan was. That sort of is the context of Conan.
I've never watched that show.
It's you know, we think of it as, you know, Conan the Barbarian. It's a fantasy series of
Right.
books or whatever, but there's more to it, to the story. The story begins. You know, it's in the midst of an ancient time, which, you know, that was sitting on the top of a modern civilization that was gone already.
I'll have to look into that.
Yeah,
I didn't know that much about it.
When you put it in that context, it makes it more fun, you know. Anyway, I know we need to go to a break, so let's go to a break, and we'll be right back after this.
Let's put our heads together on a great staycation. Berry Creek Cabins in nearby Bogalusa, Louisiana is your wilderness staycation headquarters. Cozy cabin lodging for 4 to 12 people with modern amenities, kitchens, relaxing porches, fishing, and a 2,700 square foot party deck pavilion. Call 985-730-4395 or berrycreekcabins.com. Berry Creek Cabins is family staycation headquarters.
How you doing? I'm Dr. Lauren Timmons here in Ocean Springs, Mississippi at Timmons Family and Cosmetic Dentistry, where we pride ourselves in the latest dental technology. for implants, including 3D x-rays, for orthodontics, including digital impressions, and same-day crowns and veneers. So check us out at the website below or call us for an appointment today.
Adventures Pub and Spirits awarded locals' favorite hangout, best late-night eatery, and best bar on the coast, along with TripAdvisor's Hall of Fame, offering a large menu of traditional coast seafood favorites like fresh oysters, royal reds, seafood platters, po' boys, as well as wings, burgers, steaks, and much more. Stop by and join us for our $9.95 weekday lunch special. That's Adventures Pub and Spirits, located 1 block north of the Hard Rock Casino, downtown Biloxi.
Edward St. Pé with Nathan Prescott
Hi.
from Law Focus. Hello, Nathan.
Hey.
Law Focus, we have it every Wednesday at 10:30 a.m. and then again a repeat performance at 6 p.m.
Sure.
So tell us, what is Law Focus all about?
Well, Law Focus is sort of self-explanatory, and it is a show focused on the law, but an ancillary sort of arm to that is that Law Focus involves the law in you. It involves how the law affects your day-to-day life. Through the shows, we've addressed the Landlord-Tenant Act, we've addressed trademarks, copyrights, constitutionality of issues, criminal issues, and even current events that exist in the law with different types of things that come up. So anything that involves the law and affects you is fair game for Law Focus, and we're proud of that. We try to put out new product a good bit.
Well, it's a situation that affects everyone. The law affects everybody, and we're happy to have this program. Thank you for being with us every week on Law Focus. That's Law Focus every Wednesday at 10:30 a.m. and again at 6 p.m. on Ocean 7.
Thank you.
We're back here with Gabby Bowden on Entrepreneur Showcase. And Gabby, so we've seen you perform and we've talked a little bit about your life. Now, what about the violin? You're going to be playing here on the show in a minute. Tell us about your relationship with the violin.
I started playing the violin when I was around 5 years old, and I was involved in many different orchestras. Particularly, I was in the Mobile Youth Symphony Orchestra throughout high school. And in college, I would say I got more into kind of playing with other bands and just kind of improvising, and kind of left the classical world behind and started just kind of doing the jamming thing. And I've continued doing that through now. I don't play that much classical violin unless I'm playing for a wedding or another event, formal event like that.
So, what is your favorite piece?
My favorite piece to play is probably, well, I love the Bach Double, which is not a technically very advanced song, but I love the way that the violins play off of each other. And then I like Meditation in G. Those are, I think, my two favorites.
So you are going to perform a song in a minute on the air. So we're going to go to that in a second. Tell us, lead up to that. What is that?
That song is a kind of Irish jig song, but that I've been playing for years, since high school. It's just one of my favorite tunes, and it is called Silver Strand, and it is originally performed by the Coors. I believe originally performed by the Coors. They're the one that I kind of play off of, typically.
Okay, so all right, well, let's go to the video. Let's take a look. So that was great. That was a performance just for our show.
Yes,
Very
indeed.
nice. So is that an old Irish song?
I'm embarrassed to say that I really don't know. I've only ever heard the chorus play it.
Is it like a classic? Is it considered like a classic?
I really don't know. I should know more than I do.
So how did you pick this song to learn?
Actually, my mom loved that song for a long time and would play it, and I play by ear. So I just picked it up one day and kind of figured it out because I thought it had a nice tune, and the rest is history.
So you play by ear. So explain, what does that mean really, to play by ear?
It just means that you can recognize I don't really know, I can't hear a note and say, oh, that's a C, but I can match I know the tones of the notes enough to where I can match them up. I guess that's the best explanation.
So is that something that is sort of an innate thing that some people have, that they can do that?
I think it's probably more innate in some people than others, but I think I have done music for so long, and I learned violin particularly through this method called the Suzuki method, which focuses on ear training a lot. So I don't know if it's some special innate thing. I think some people are probably born without the ability at all, but I think mine was definitely just honed through the years.
Through the years, practice.
Right.
Yeah. So once again, you're at Phoenician's Restaurant here in Ocean Springs on Government Street on Friday and Saturday nights.
Friday and Saturdays from 6:30 to 9. And some special Sundays like Mother's Day or Easter.
And so, okay, we'll take a break and we'll come back and we'll close the show, okay?
Sounds
We'll be
good.
right back.
Let's put our heads together on a great staycation. Berry Creek Cabins in nearby Bogalusa, Louisiana is your wilderness staycation headquarters. Cozy cabin lodging for 4 to 12 people with modern amenities, kitchens, relaxing porches, fishing, and a 2,700 square foot party deck pavilion. Call 985-730-4395 or berrycreekcabins.com. Berry Creek Cabins is family staycation headquarters.
How you doing? I'm Dr. Lauren Timmons here in Ocean Springs, Mississippi at Timmons Family and Cosmetic Dentistry, where we pride ourselves in the latest dental technology for implants, including 3D x-rays, for orthodontics, including digital impressions, and same-day crowns and veneers. So check us out at the website below or call us for an appointment today.
Foster's Air. 4. Yeah, it's another one. 5.
Hey girls, what are y'all counting?
We're counting all the Foster trucks we see.
Oh, that sounds fun.
It really is. There's so many of them. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Foster's Air, call and we're there. Home of the old reliable.
11.
Furniture Galore & More has been doing business on the coast in Biloxi for over 30 solid years. We provide quality furniture from our floor to your door. That means you can buy it today and take it away, or you can have it delivered. New living room furniture, bedrooms, comfortable leather recliners, and so much more for your home decor. So many selections, layaway and financing is available. Isn't it time to spruce things up? Furniture Galore & More. Ain't nothing like it on the coast. Stop by and tell them Lexi and Nick sent you.
Edward St. Pé with Nathan Prescott
Hi.
from Law Focus. Hello, Nathan.
Hey.
Law Focus, we have it every Wednesday at 10:30 a.m. and then again a repeat performance at 6 p.m.
Sure.
So tell us, what is Law Focus all about?
Well, Law Focus is sort of self-explanatory, and it is a show focused on the law, but an ancillary sort of arm to that is that Law Focus involves the law in you. It involves how the law affects your day-to-day life. Through the shows, we've addressed the Landlord-Tenant Act, we've addressed trademarks, copyrights, constitutionality of issues, criminal issues and even current events that exist in the law with different types of things that come up. So anything that involves the law and affects you is fair game for Law Focus, and we're proud of that, and we try to put out new product a good bit.
Well, it's a situation that affects everyone. The law affects everybody, and we're happy to have this program. Thank you for being with us every week on Law Focus. That's Law Focus every Wednesday at 10:30 a.m. and again at 6 p.m. on Ocean 7.
Thank you.
Back here with Gabby Bowden. This is Entrepreneur Showcase here on Ocean 7. We have the pleasure of meeting a performer who is performing at Phoenician's restaurant in Ocean Springs, Gabby Bowden, and a vocalist and a violinist.
Yes, and I play a little bit of piano and guitar too, but more violin.
So, okay, now are you working out there professionally? Do you have a Facebook page that people can look at if they want to book you?
You have caught me right at the beginning of my solo career, per se. I have a brand new Facebook page and an Instagram account, and I will be posting my performances, original songs that I'm writing on those accounts. And you will find information of, if I'm going to be somewhere else public, you'll find that there.
On the Facebook page. So,
yes.
The type of music that you're writing, what is it?
I'm working on, I kind of write my own, I would say maybe singer-songwriter, but jazzy vocal songs.
Like in the standards vein?
Well, maybe, but new standards. I guess maybe. But then I also kind of write piano compositions as well. So both kinds.
So have you recorded yet?
No, I'm actually just trying to figure out how to record myself. I've invested in some equipment, and that's the next bear I'm trying to tackle.
These days, with the production as it is, digital and such, it's fairly easy to put together a studio, Yeah,
it's not as hard as I once thought it would be, but it is not cheap. I will say that.
Right, it's not cheap.
Good equipment.
Back in the old days, though, it was a lot of money and a lot of equipment and a lot of space. Nowadays, everything's digitalized into a laptop.
Right, it's much simpler.
It's much simpler, and really, it is cheaper than it used to be, because back in the old days, when you had all those big pieces of equipment, they were
thousands of dollars,
you
right?
spend a lot of money real quick and all that. Now it's affordable to do. So. Good luck to you with the recording.
Thank you.
And I hope to see you over at the restaurant. And
please come by.
Visit and see your performance. And good luck to you with everything going forward. And very talented. And we look forward to having you back on the show one of these days, right?
Well, thank you for having me. This has been so fun. So unexpected.
You have some video clips, because we'll send you these clips from the show.
Sounds perfect. And check them out on the Facebook page.
Check them out
Instagram.
on the Facebook page. Okay, thank you, Gabby, for being with us. And thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see you next time on Entrepreneur Showcase here on Ocean 7.
You're watching WXVO Television, Ocean 7, Pascagoula, Ocean Springs, Goshen, Mississippi.